Winter, 1961. We're at Crown Street Women's Hospital in Sydney, and an obstetrician named William McBride is staring at something that just shouldn't be happening. Within a matter of weeks, 3 babies have been born in his single ward with an incredibly devastating, extraordinarily rare deformity. This is the story of the pill that changed the world.
3 babies. It's a condition called Phocomelia. The baby's arms and legs were drastically shortened. Sometimes they were missing entirely, just replaced by these tiny flipper-like appendages coming right out of their shoulders or hips. Now, before 1959, doctors could go their entire careers without seeing a single case of this. But suddenly, McBride was seeing them in clusters. So he urgently starts asking the mothers, what do you all have in common? And one terrifying answer kept coming back. They'd all taken a single, supposedly perfectly safe sleeping pill during their pregnancy, a drug called thalidomide.
The harmless wonder drug. To understand how this pill even reached those mothers in the first place, we have to jump back to 1954 in West Germany. Deep inside the labs of a company called Chemie Grünenthal, a chemist named Heinrich Müchter synthesized a brand new sedative. And this specific compound, well, it possessed one highly lucrative characteristic that was about to change everything.
The core claim that really drove the drug's massive success was pretty audacious. See, Grünenthal ran tests on rats, right? They gave them absolutely huge quantities of the drug, and the rats simply fell asleep and then woke up totally unharmed. So their defining pitch to doctors worldwide was exactly what's right here. Thalidomide was so safe that you could not kill yourself with it even if you tried. They branded it as Contergan and aggressively pitched it as this over-the-counter medical miracle. And honestly, the marketing was relentless. They had ads featuring toddlers reaching for medicine bottles with the tagline, completely harmless, safe for children. Because it was deemed the absolute safest sedative ever made, doctors enthusiastically prescribed it to millions of pregnant women dealing with morning sickness. I mean, it became a global blockbuster practically overnight, bringing in massive revenue for Grünenthal. But here is the kicker. The company was actively covering up, totally dismissing and burying complaints and early reports that the drug was actually causing severe nerve damage in adults.
The American blockade. This drug quickly spread to 46 countries across the globe, but as it prepared to cross the Atlantic, it hit a massive brick wall in the United States. It became the one major global market where this booming wonder drug just couldn't get a foothold.
This sparked a legendary clash that literally saved thousands of lives. On one side, you had the William S. Merrill Company aggressively demanding FDA approval to sell thalidomide in the US. Standing right in their way was Frances Oldham Kelsey. She was a meticulous, incredibly stubborn, 46-year-old FDA pharmacologist reviewing one of her very first applications, and she just straight up refused to approve it. She took one look at their incredibly thin safety data, saw those troubling reports of severe nerve damage coming out of Europe, and asked a vital question. If this drug damages adult nerves, what on earth might it do to a developing fetus?
What followed was a totally grueling 14-month standoff. From the application's initial submission in September 1960 all the way through late 1961, Kelsey held her ground. She faced furious harassment, hostile personal visits, and wild accusations of bureaucratic obstruction from pharmaceutical executives. But she didn't budge. She simply kept demanding more safety data. Her stubbornness was literally holding back the tide, while the rest of the world was just about to uncover the true scale of the catastrophe.
Uncovering the catastrophe. Because while Kelsey held the line in America, things in Europe were spiraling. Maternity wards were becoming completely overwhelmed. Baffled doctors were witnessing this terrifying spike in severe deformities, and they were desperately blaming the epidemic on literally anything they could think of, from weird viruses to atmospheric fallout from nuclear weapons testing.
Over in Hamburg, a pediatrician named Widukind Lenz decided to meticulously investigate this epidemic to solve the medical mystery. He began systematically cataloging patient histories, tracking diets, habits, you name it, even other medications. Finally, by late 1961, he identified the single common factor, thalidomide ingestion. Crucially, he pinpointed the exact window of vulnerability. If a mother took the drug between the 20th and 36th day after conception, which are the precise days when an embryo's limbs are forming, the damage was devastating and absolutely permanent. The global toll was just staggering. After Lenz and McBride essentially forced the issue, the drug was reluctantly pulled from the market. But an estimated 10,000 to 20,000 babies had been born with severe deformities worldwide, and thousands more didn't survive at all. Take a look at this breakdown. Roughly 5,000 cases in West Germany, 2,000 in the UK. Meanwhile, the American public was largely spared, saved almost entirely by Frances Kelsey's absolute refusal to bow to corporate pressure. A regulated world. The unimaginable tragedy of those numbers shocked the entire globe into action. The fallout from thalidomide didn't just fade away, it became the direct catalyst for the most sweeping pharmaceutical regulations in human history.
The real turning point was the Kefauver-Harris Amendment of 1962. Did you know that before thalidomide, drug companies didn't actually have to prove their drugs work? It's crazy, but true. This amendment changed all of that. It mandated solid proof of efficacy, mandatory reporting of any adverse effects to the FDA, informed consent for clinical trials, and it established strict good manufacturing practices. Seriously, the entire modern global system of drug development was literally built on the rubble of the thalidomide disaster.
The bitter second act. You see, for the survivors, the story obviously didn't just end with some new laws. Surviving children faced lives of extraordinary physical and psychological difficulty. They endured multiple intense surgeries and had to fight decades-long battles just to get adequate compensation from Grünenthal. And then, medicine uncovered a truly bizarre twist.
In this incredibly dark irony, the devastating teratogen of the 1960s, this substance famous for destroying developing embryos, actually became an FDA-approved drug in 1998. Back in 1964, a doctor shockingly discovered that thalidomide was highly effective at treating painful complications of leprosy. Later on, researchers found it could even treat multiple myeloma, which is a type of blood cancer. So it actually returned to the market under the strictest FDA distribution controls ever imposed, becoming a highly profitable 21st century drug. The very poison that destroyed bodies was now literally saving lives.
10,000 babies. That number represents the true human cost of our modern medical safety standards. Every single drug that comes to market today passes through a grueling gauntlet of testing that only exists because of them. Every clinical trial protocol, every adverse event report, and every single pregnancy warning you see on a pill bottle carries the echo of those children. The babies of thalidomide changed the world. The tragedy is that they had to.